The sun barely rose over the bustling city when Dr. Babayo entered the living room with a steaming cup of coffee. He loves his hot morning coffee. He glanced at the towering Christmas tree in the corner, its shimmering ornaments and golden ribbons standing as a stark reminder of what Christmas in the Babayo household had always been: grand, extravagant, and picture-perfect. But this year was different. The economic downturn had forced many families, including his, to reassess their priorities, and he said quietly to himself, "Christmas money for this season. Simply Christmas money on demand this year." Dr. Babayo has a loving family. His wife Titi and their two lovely daughters. Titi, the wife of Babayo, is a popular lawyer in town. Known for her extravagant spending and love for good things, the Babayos are well known for their luxurious lifestyle, hosting expensive parties, traveling. As the preparation for Christmas approaches, Titi and her girls were thrilled, because it's a season for lots of spending for beautiful expensive gifts, traveling. One evening after dinner, Titi, his wife, joined him moments later in the sitting room, holding a notepad. Titi said excitedly, "Hello honey, it's time for Christmas. What's up for Christmas, babe?" Smiling, "I have made a list of things we need to buy, the gifts, prices for our trips, the list of invitees, decorations, from my calculations. Honey, we would need some good money this year to make this Christmas season memorable. Please kindly take a look at the list, darling." She sounded really excited. "What do you think, darling?" Dr. Babayo took the list, looked at it, frowned, and calmly said, "Hey babe, please can I reply tomorrow?" Titi replied, "Sure babe." But she sensed something was wrong, but kept quiet. The next day being Saturday, Dr. Babayo did not fix any appointments at the hospital, wanted to have a quality time with his wife, since the girls were all at a boarding school, both work so hard and hardly see themselves. Titi was happy to relax with her husband that Saturday, and decided to cook something special for them. Dr. Babayo was happy to hear from his wife that she wanted to cook something special for them to eat. Later that evening, Dr. Babayo said, "My beautiful wife, the only woman who truly completes me, my one and only Titi, the apple of my eyes, my love, my life, I love you and will always do so." Titi blushed, hearing all these sweet names from her husband. She smiled at him. Knowing her husband, she knew he either wanted a favor or to tell her serious things that might upset her. "Oh," she asked, "what do you want, my love?" She said calmly. "I guess you have something important to tell me," she smiled. Dr. Babayo, "Yes, my love, you guessed right," he said. "Now listen, my beautiful wife, I have taken time to study your Christmas list. Honestly, babe, I would suggest we do something different this Christmas. What do you think, babe?" he asked her. Titi, very curious, asked to do something different. "Like what, my darling husband?" "As promised, I'm planning our one-week trip to Paris with the girls. But before then, we need to buy more beautiful decorations, gifts, Christmas clothes, shoes, bags, and invite our friends for a big party celebration," she said excitedly. "So dear, this is what I think." Dr. Babayo was quiet. He listened to his excited wife. "Babe, like I said earlier, what I meant by doing something different this Christmas is by cutting down some expenses. It's true that we are both doing well financially, but let's just take it slow. Let us put some smile on the faces of some people who are desperately in need. Definitely we will still make this Christmas a memorable one, but with a difference. I hope you understand, my dear, the economic situation in the country is so much that a lot of families are struggling to make ends meet. Foodstuffs are so expensive, transportation, fuel, it's crazy, Titi. Indeed, a lot of families are struggling. But I repeat, Titi, we are all going to a memorable Christmas with family. I know you did not expect this from me. Believe me, I have been thinking about this for months now. My hospital did not do much this year, Titi. Because a lot of patients were unable to pay for medical bills, I was forced to reduce the bills so as not to lose my patients. Remember, my maintenance costs are fixed. You can imagine the staff salaries need to be paid too, and lots more. All these are incurred expenses. So you see, my darling wife, this is Christmas money on demand. Titi was taken aback. She had known Dr. Babayo since uni days. He loved good things and luxurious things, he never complained, but this time, it was different. She could perceive his seriousness. She said to herself, "Girl, Christmas money on demand." She silently stood up and went to her room without saying a word to her husband. Dr. Babayo was surprised to see his wife so quiet. It was unlike her. She loves good things and luxury. He decided to let her be. He married an intelligent wife. He believed she would come around. Titi, his wife, joined him moments later, holding a notepad. Her brow furrowed as she scribbled calculations. "Babayo, I've gone through the numbers again. We simply cannot afford the kind of Christmas we've had in the past." Dr. Babayo sighed, taking a seat beside her. "I've been thinking the same. But how do we explain this to the girls? Lala and Kemi have only ever known a luxurious lifestyle. Thank you for understanding, my darling wife. You are simply the best," he said to her, smiling. "As for our girls, I think they will understand too. We will explain things to them. I am sure that they already know that things are expensive and most families are struggling." Lala and Kemi, both sisters, were used to designer Christmas dresses, lavish feasts, and expensive gifts. This year, however, the family's income had taken a significant hit due to the economic crisis, and it was time for a reality check. Some days after the girls returned from school for the Christmas holiday, looking very happy to be finally home for Christmas, they have always loved Christmas holiday in the house because of all the expensive, beautiful things in and around the house. At breakfast, the family gathered around the table. The girls chatted excitedly about what they hoped to get for Christmas. "I've been thinking about a new iPhone," Lala said, her eyes sparkling. Kemi added, "And I want the latest PlayStation. Imagine all the games we can play." Dr. Babayo exchanged a glance with Titi before clearing his throat. "Girls, your mother and I need to talk to you about something important." Lala and Kemi fell silent, sensing the seriousness in their father's tone. "This Christmas will be different," Titi began gently. "The country is going through hard times, and many families, including ours, have to make some adjustments. Girls, it is Christmas money on demand." "Adjustments?" Lala asked, confused. "What do you mean?" Dr. Babayo explained. "We've decided to cut down on unnecessary expenses. This means no new gadgets, no extravagant gifts, and no lavish celebrations. Instead, we're going to focus on spending time together as a family." "But that's not fair," Kemi protested. "Christmas is supposed to be fun." "It will be," Titi assured her. "Just in a different way. Trust us, girls. This Christmas will be memorable for all the right reasons." The Babayo's family began their new Christmas tradition by brainstorming ideas for activities they could do together. Titi suggested, "Why don't we bake our own Christmas cookies this year? We can even package some as gifts for our neighbors. And we can make decorations ourselves," Dr. Babayo added. "I've always wanted to try my hand at crafting." Lala was skeptical. "Making decorations? That sounds boring." Kemi, however, was intrigued. "Can we make snowflakes? I saw a tutorial on YouTube." The family spent the following days gathering materials. Titi found unused fabric scraps for sewing decorations, while Dr. Babayo sourced cheap but sturdy cardboard for crafting. The girls, though initially reluctant, gradually warmed up to the idea. One evening, as they worked together on a garland, Lala said, "This is kind of fun. I never knew we could make something so pretty ourselves." Dr. Babayo smiled. "Sometimes the best things in life don't come with a price tag." While preparing for Christmas, the family also discussed the challenges facing the country. During dinner one evening, Titi brought up the topic. "What do you girls think families like ours can do to cope with the current economic situation?" Lala thought for a moment. Maybe people can share what they have. Like if someone has extra food, they can give it to someone who doesn't. That's a great idea, Dr. Babayo said. It's called a community support system. When people help one another, it strengthens the entire community. Kemi chimed in. And the government can help too, right? They can give food to hungry people. Yes, Titi agreed. But it's not just about giving food. The government must also create opportunities for people to work and earn a living. Like Daddy's hospital. Kemi asked. Exactly, Dr. Babayo replied. If businesses grow, more people can get jobs. But until then, we must all find ways to support each other. On Christmas Eve, the Babayo household was buzzing with activity. The family had decided to host a simple dinner for a few close friends and neighbors. They spent the day cooking together, preparing dishes that were delicious yet budget-friendly. Lala and Kemi took charge of decorating the dining area with their handmade crafts. When their guests arrived, they were greeted with warmth and laughter. During dinner, one of the neighbors remarked, "This is the most beautiful Christmas I've ever seen. It's not about the grandeur but the love and togetherness." Dr. Babayo nodded. That's exactly what we've learned this year. Christmas isn't about what you spend but about who you spend it with. On Christmas morning, the family gathered around the tree. Instead of expensive gifts, they exchanged handmade presents. Lala gave her parents a scrapbook filled with family memories, while Kemi presented a drawing of the family she had worked on for days. "These are the best gifts we've ever received," Titi said, her eyes misty. As they sat together, Dr. Babayo asked, "What's one lesson we've all learned this Christmas?" Lala replied, "That we don't need expensive things to be happy." Kemi added, "And that working together makes everything more fun." Kitty smiled. "For me, it's that challenges can bring us closer if we let them," Dr. Babayo concluded. "And for me, it's that simplicity often holds the most profound beauty." From that year on, the Babayo family's Christmases were never the same. They had discovered the joy of simplicity, the strength of unity, and the importance of giving back. Their story became an inspiration to their community, showing that even in tough times, love and togetherness can make every season bright. As the sun set on Christmas Day, Lala turned to her parents and said, "This was the best Christmas ever." Dr. Babayo and Titi exchanged a smile. "It's not just Christmas money," Titi said. "It's a Christmas filled with heart." And that made all the difference. Christmas is family, love and bond. "Merry Christmas," they all echoed, laughing together. The family agreed to continue their newfound traditions in the years to come, ensuring that love, creativity, and gratitude remained the cornerstones of their celebrations. And in doing so, they reminded themselves and others that even in the face of challenges, the true spirit of Christmas could shine brightly. Christmas must not always be lots of money. It can be simple, fun, and with family. Christmas money indeed.